couple of questions that people just had in general. And the first one I have is they want to include PRP into the suite of solutions. So how does that match with the beachhead idea? Meaning there's some confusion about how to add hormone replacement therapy and the beachhead example that we've talked about. Okay, so let's kind of break this down a little bit. In the beachhead, you'll remember that it's one message, one market, one offer. The one offer isn't about the offer that you're selling to them when they're in the office. It's the offer to get them to come in. You have to have such a compelling offer for people to come in. So again, if I go back to the erectile dysfunction clinics, sorry guys. If you go back to the erectile dysfunction clinics, our offer was really simple. Come into the clinic one time, meet with the doctor, get a test dose. If you don't see results in 12 minutes or less, you owe us nothing. That's our guarantee to you. So one of the ways that you can make a compelling offer in the regenerative space, this is why I still like you to keep insurance around for doing lead gen, is your first visit is covered by insurance. That gets people in very, very easily. Now, a lot of people think, well, if they're coming in on insurance, aren't they going to expect it to be covered? No. Because if you take them through the process that we've laid out with regards to educate and excite and the conversion process, it rarely becomes a problem. We know this for a fact because John Farrell, how many people know who Dr. John Farrell is? Okay, he's a client. He owns Regenerative Orthopedic Sports Medicine down in DC and Baltimore. He has 8 locations. For the record, he's only been working with us for about 7 months, so we didn't help him build to 8 locations. But we're doing a lot of extensive work for them to add packages and things like that into their practices. And so that's his main hook. That's his main way that he gets people in the door. In the functional medicine space, for those of you, if you use that as a front end, because I know there's some of you in this room that's more of your front end, which is perfectly fine. In the functional medicine space, it's get a consult with one of our staff members, right? It's not with the doctor. And in that time, what they're doing is they're offering them like a full suite and panel of blood work for $2,500. That's the offer. Okay, that's the initial offer, is to get them in to discuss their particular situation during that call. And a lot of those are done via Zoom calls, not in office. They're making an offer. Okay, we'll run battery of blood tests. We'll do a gut biome. And it's like $2,500 to $3,500. That is another way that you can utilize that from an offer standpoint. So the offer to get them in the door, if you think about it, in the insurance side of things, you actually think you're making money on the office visit. You're losing money. So the office visit is not there to make money. Don't overprice it. Don't think, well, my time, Matt told me my time is worth $1,000. I need to be charging $1,000 for my office visit. No. The reason why you have them come in the marketing industry, it's what we call, it's a loss leader, okay? It's the cost to acquire a customer. This is what I want you to think of. Make the offers really, really compelling. One of the things we do in the cash space with regards to regenerative is you say, our office visit is $200. Come in, meet with the doctor, get a full diagnosis. They'll perform an ultrasound. If you are not 100% completely satisfied with the recommendation of treatment, simply let us know and we'll refund your $200. That's going to get people coming in the door. When we talk about offer, that's where the offer fits, okay? Now, when it comes to where do we have HRT, if you're offering HRT in your regenerative or orthobiologics packages, that HRT is in the best package. Hey, I'm Matthew Galogli, and I'm a maverick. Well, what is a maverick? A maverick goes against the grain. We find our own way. And if you're sick and tired of being pushed around by the insurance companies, come join us. We'll show you the way out. And you'll love medicine again. Your good package is just like PRP, some shockwave or laser. Your better package is maybe BMAC and PRP and laser or shockwave. Maybe your best package also includes hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy for most of you is nothing more than what's called a bolt-on service. B-O-L-T, bolt-on service to what you are doing. So it bolts on and it complements what you are already doing for the patient. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? Yes? Yes and yes, or no and yes? Yes, go ahead, James. The whole last 5 minutes? Oh, just the last. Okay. I said it's okay. So what I meant by that, it's a bolt-on, B-O-L-T, hormone replacement therapy, peptides. Like if we were showing you laser, shockwave, those are all what we call bolt-on. They're bolted on to the main procedure, and they're designed to get better outcomes and drive price and profits up. Okay? Got it? Beautiful. Any other questions on that one? She took her laptop. Oh, you're trying to fix it? Okay. Okay. All right. How hard is it to create a cash business and keep it separate from their current business? And do we help on that? It's very simple. Okay. The simplest way to do it is in the beginning, all you do is just go get a separate merchant account. Ariana talked about a Stripe account. That's all you have to do. Stripe is a very simple way to do it. It's online. We have multiple Stripe accounts. And all you do is you separate the charges. Any charges for your cash-based procedures are run via a separate merchant account, charge account. It's that simple. When you want to get a little bit more complex, after maybe you're doing $50,000 a month, then what you do is you create a separate business entity and you create a separate business bank account. I prefer that our clients have their business bank accounts, their insurance business bank accounts at one branch, at one bank, like a Bank of America or a Fifth Third or whatever, and their cash ones they have at another bank. I just don't want to have any sense that somebody would say, oh, we're moving funds in between or anything like that. I like to have things, I'm kind of weird like that. I like to have things very clear and very separate. It's just a personal preference. And then before you do the business bank account, obviously you're going to have a new entity. Eventually you're going to run all of your cash services through a cash practice. You're going to have a separate EIN, you're going to have a separate tax return, everything, your insurance stuff, you're going to run through the insurance business. Okay. If it gets to be a little bit, it's real simple, right? It sounds way more complicated than it is. It's very, very simple. Okay. Do not overthink it. I do like that. You like that. You want to say something on this?
So I tested this out for everybody because I was like, yeah, this is simple. You just do this and this and this and this. So I actually tested it out, took it for a test drive. Like, how long does it actually take to get a new EIN and new this and new that and new that? So it takes about 60 minutes.
Not bad.
60 minutes.
Go ahead, John.
I mean, you gotta do the application and then you wait for it, but it's like seriously not hard. It's like a one-page application. It comes back, you get a bank account, 60 minutes to make a new company.
And how about registering your medical company with the state medical board with that?
Go ahead. Yep.
30 minutes.
It might take.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Someone else can fill it out.
John, it might take a month, just 4 to 6 weeks in North Carolina for the board to approve it. But you can still go and apply for the EIN as well, and you can operate in that fashion. And then if they deny the name, then you just do a name change, okay, if you're really concerned about that. State of North Carolina is a little weird, right? Like, I think our last one was like 6 weeks. I'm like, why does it, what do you expect, okay? But, yeah, I don't think that's that big of a deal.
Each state has their weird things.
Yes. No, he's North Carolina. He's North Carolina. Okay. Any other questions about that? Okay. Next question that we had come in is we're concerned about the time needed for startup. And our small group is already stretched very thin. How many of you feel stretched very thin in your insurance practice today, right? Okay. You have to be. Okay. All right. This is what I call the Osh Goyle solution. So with Osh, he fought us on this. The only thing I want to do, Bob, I'm going to use you as an example. All I want you to do is, how often do you see patients? Every...
Oh, you mean
how many? Like every 15? So he's got 7.5 minutes. Okay? So the first thing you do is we create a video that every patient is going to see before you or your PA comes into the room. That's the first thing. Okay, so while they're waiting for you, because I know, no doctor is ever on time, right? So while they're waiting for you, they're going to watch this video. It's a simple 6-minute video. And since you're in the program, we have like the outline for you. And if you don't know where to find it, can't find it, just get with Misty, okay? So what you do then is you create that video. That creates the curiosity. You can do some other things prior to them coming in. You can send them some video links, a video that you may have created just kind of describing more in detail about orthobiologics or some testimonials. But really that in-room video makes a big, big difference. Then the second thing I would tell you to do is cut back. Instead of seeing every 7.5 minutes, cut it back to every 20. Here's why. One PRP is going to make up for a lot of those $29 office visits that you're getting, that you have, or 49, whatever you get paid. When you get paid 49, 39, whatever it is, it's, yeah, I doubt it is. And so what you're doing is, again, it's the pruning of those appointments to create the space to talk to the folks more about the regenerative therapies, okay? And then you just practice that. You can do something very, very simple as just start doing it 1 day a week, okay? But every patient just sees that video. Create the video. You should be able to get the video. We have a whole process laid out of how to do it, kind of an outline of the script and everything. And it doesn't matter if it's great. All it's got to be is good, because it's the first time they've ever seen anything like that. And you want to then just start getting the staff excited about this. I mean, you know that this is the best thing for your patients, right? You're just stuck within a massive machine that you created, right? Correct. Yeah. How many doctors do you have on staff?
We have 8 doctors.
You have 8 doctors on staff. Okay, so he's got a massive machine. Go ahead, Donnie, here.
For Bob, hello, testing. I talk about price, process, and trust, which is in different ways are covered in this fantastic meeting. We can't put a biologic procedure and practice into an orthopedic surgery process, because I've lived that 7.5 minute, even 15-minute office visit time. Even if you're the world's best orthobiologic doctor, you will fail miserably if you put that constraint on meeting with patients. And so, like you heard me say, I went from 35 a day to my max is like 13, 14, maybe 15 on a really busy day with help. But 4x the revenue, so that's not the issue. It's just being able to have time. Come.
Just got to prune things out. Okay, go ahead, Ariana.
I think one of the things that is super helpful is maybe picking one diagnosis that's on your schedule, and when they schedule that, reserve more time. So your top things that you know are going to be home runs for orthobiologics, like lateral epicondylitis, reserve more time for those, because those are home runs, and you can have that time. You can run the video, you can have that full conversation, and they can't help but say yes. Just pick one. Or take a half day. I forget who I was talking to. I said, okay, take a half day. Reserve it for your orthobiologic patients. Don't schedule into that anything except your orthobiologic patients. At first, it's going to be the consults, because you don't have any of the other orthobiologic patients. However, one PRP injection is going to pay for all of the time and all of the patients that would have taken up that spot. All of those spots. All of your scheduled spots. Calculate how much you make gross revenue in that half day. One PRP injection is going to cover that whole, quote, deficit that you don't schedule. And then you have space to schedule into. You have time. You have the luxury. If no one's in there, what do? You work on your video. You make your emails. You run your 5130. That's at your time, your thinking time, your luxury time to actually build it. It only needs one injection. And then you have the rest of the day to make your videos, your 30, 60, 90 second videos, upload them every day, batch them so that you can then have a whole week's worth.
Just general, like what Tebow was teaching us, okay? Your welcome video. Yeah, and I think, Bob, that's a really great point. Like, the other thing I will throw, like, just pick, I think one of the easiest things to do is convert your corticosteroid patients to PRP. So if you see those on the calendar, just create more time to do that. And then the other thing is, if we haven't done a 5130 for you, we need to get that rolling, because that'll create the cash. The cash creates confidence. The confidence creates the confidence to create space in the schedule, and then you can start pruning out. Like, that's going to be the biggest challenge for you, is you've got this behemoth that you've got to feed, right? Every 2 weeks it wants to get paid, right? And they do, right? Yes, but you know what I mean. It's it's a machine. You've got this big machine to work through, right? Okay. Happen again, Shay. Where did she go? You know, you can change the timer on that thing. That's what you were trying to do? What's that? You can run right into me. You can put ketchup right over me. It's fine. I'm good with it. Just give him the elbow. That's fine. Okay. Next is, let's see. Okay, starting to do, question that came up was, okay, how do you enroll your team to help sort out the Medicare clients so you have viable clients? How do you sort out the clients? Well, I think we just talked about that. I think if you look at your EMR, you know, first and foremost, the best patients, the easiest patients to convert into orthobiologics are your corticosteroid clients, those patients. And I wouldn't eliminate people just because of the type of insurance they have. I would make that offer to all of them. That was a big breakthrough for you, like of how many of your Medicare, Medicaid patients paid cash. Talk about it.
Yeah, so I was just sitting in the clinic and, you know, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to offer to everybody. This is what I do. This is the option. There's this new thing. It's called PRP. It's part of my treatment regimen. We do PT, we do bracing, we do nutrition, we do not corticosteroids, we do PRP, BMC, hyaluronic acid, or surgery. Those are all the options. They're like, wait, what was this PRP thing? Oh, yes. I decided I was going to offer it to every single one of my patients because if they didn't have the offer, they couldn't say yes. And I'm not good enough to predict what's in people's wallets and what their values are and what their needs are. So if they have the offer and they say no, great. But if they don't even have the offer, they can't say yes.
You're talking about that and about patients. I'm in I don't know, maybe not an atypical situation or typical. I'm a pain management specialist and I do prescribe opioids. And opioid patients are a little bit different. I'm going to try to visualize them saying, yeah, sure, take me off opioids and give me orthobiologics, but I'll give it a shot.
Look, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? Like,
So, oh, but my patients, you don't understand. My patients are different.
oh yeah.
We had a lovely gentleman who came in on chronic narcotics for low back pain, has been on high dose chronic narcotics. Oh, and by the way, I'm not prescribing those things to him. He has a pain management doctor who is doing that. And so, what did I treat him with? PRP for his lumbar spine. 2 weeks later, how many opioids was he taking? 0. And he paid for it. And he came in walking upright for the first time. He cried, and he's not a crier. And he said, you changed our life. You changed how I see myself, and I don't have the fog of narcotics for the first time in a really long time. So can we change people's lives? Can we get them off narcotics? Yes. Absolutely we can.
Yes. And we should. We should get them off narcotics. Okay? Yes, Jason, go ahead.
I know we've talked about this quite a bit over the weekend, but I just want to kind of get maybe a wrap up. How do you know when to increase your prices? How do you know how much to increase your prices? Like how do you do it like in some sort of scientific or systematic way?
It's very scientific. Go ahead, Donnie. Yeah. So here's how you raise prices. You walk in and you say, instead of charging $750 for PRP, today we're charging $1,250 from this point forward. And then you go, and he's saying $1,500, and then you go, I just tell you to keep raising it $500. Okay? Okay? Or double it. The point is, this is not a scientific process. You don't need to send out any advance notice. Do they send out advance notice when they raise the price of milk? Do they send out advance notice when they raise the price of gasoline? Nope. Or your prescription drugs? They just raise it.
Hey, I'm Matthew Galogli, and I'm a maverick. Well, what is a maverick? A maverick goes against the grain. We find our own way. And if you're sick and tired of being pushed around by the insurance companies, come join us. We'll show you the way out. And you'll love medicine again.
Or your taxes, right? All that fun stuff, okay? Go ahead, Donnie.
So don't go 600, 645, 672, 695. Don't do that. And Matt counseled me on this, like so many other things, where going from 800 to 950 is inconsequential. There is nobody who's going to pay you $800 that's going to balk at 950. Don't do that. Make your changes significant and substantial. And knowing what I know now and what I've seen with all the people through this program do, depending on where you're at now, it's not important, but you need to be somewhere in the range that you hear other people talking on, 1900, 2500, 3500 if you have packages or more, and just get there as fast as you can that you're comfortable with as a human, but get there overnight if you can. The issue that I had, especially the way I did it, was, I don't see people every week, but I see people may come back every 6 months or every year for these kind of problems, right? And how do you handle the person who paid $600 in June 2023, but they come and see me in February, and now it's 1900, right? I had people like that because I went up enough where that happened. And what we came up with internally, I'm not sure if we talked about it, but we basically just split the price. So whatever their price was the last time versus what it was now, and it's been 1900 and pretty stable now for a while, then we would just split the price and say, okay, yeah, for one time I can split the price because we had an increase and it is what it is. We're not going to go back. We never matched the old price, but we will split the price. And I didn't lose many, if any, people. Yeah.
People are used to prices going up. What's happened since the pandemic? Has the price of everything gone up? Okay. I mean, the price of that hotel has gone up, believe me, a lot. Yes. Because, look, gas leaks, I'm going to probably get an extra bill for that. That's the extra bonus that I didn't know about. But I'll see, Jason, just raise it. Don't worry about it.
Sometimes we call those loyalty bonus, loyalty points. If you come back and you paid $1,500 and now it's $2,500, and I'm going to split the difference and I'm going to say, you know what? You've been such a good customer to us. Let me knock $500 off of that. I'm going to just charge you $2,000. It used to be $1,500 and it was now $2,500, but now I made $2,000. That's less than I'm making on everybody else, but it's $500 more than I made last time. And you have a loyal customer and they're going to come back and they are so darn appreciative. That's recurrent business. Our gentleman that we got off opioids, he's coming back and he doesn't care how much it costs. He is now a recurrent customer.
Another question that came in is, how do I do this while I'm still working at the hospital? Great question. Because here's the mistake that I see a lot of people make. They wait till they decide they're going to leave the hospital. And then before they do that, they're looking for a location, and then they go and they do a bunch of training and they make sure their skill set is really good. And then they find a location, and then they buy some machines, and then they open up their doors and they expect that people are just going to show up. Reverse it. If your intent is to leave the hospital, start making videos today. Start posting content today. It takes about 4 months for that to really start to gain traction. Okay? And as you start to do that, people are going to start noticing you. And you can just say, look, we're going to be opening up a location soon. We don't have one yet, but this content is here to help you. I'm assuming Atiba, that's kind of, well, he's talking to them about something else, but that's kind of the process that I would have you go through. So now what you've done is you're creating demand. The whole key is to create demand before you open, not after. There's nothing worse than opening a location and hearing crickets, okay? Because then you get really, really nervous. And when you're nervous and when you're stressed, you make bad decisions, okay? You all are highly trained to not get stressed out, right? If you lose your crap in the surgery room, bad things happen. You are trained not to lose your crap, right? Okay? Same thing in business. You can't lose your crap. It would have been very easy for us and our team to lose our crap with this whole little curveball that we got. We took a deep breath, settled down, boom, let's go fix it, okay? So you have to, and drink margaritas. So you have to, it's always better to open a clinic when you have pent up demand, we actually, when we opened our first clinic, actually we opened every single clinic, the first day we would see 15 to 20 patients on that first day. Because we started advertising 6 weeks prior to opening. We created demand in the marketplace. So if you're at the hospital and your intent is to leave, create the content starting Monday. Okay? You want to be consistent so it has a cumulative effect and it notices everything. Go ahead. We're going to say, yep.
Starting a channel on YouTube, for example, and you don't have a library yet, and you want to make a bunch of these videos up front and get them on your channel, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to wait and stretch that out over 2 months, especially if you're getting ready to leave the hospital, you know. You want to stay hungry, you want to burn the boats so you have no escape route, and you want to be ready to go, you know.
Just for Atiba, we talked about the restrictions that YouTube takes out on certain medical words and medical procedures and how we have to be careful with the language. I just wanted you to expand on that.
Google does with stem cell. PRP, yep. Meaning Google paid per click. Yes, pay per click. Yeah, in the case of video, they haven't yet. Okay. All right. And again, I'll reiterate, I can't remember if Atiba said this. Look, put your videos everywhere. Donnie is prolific. I'm convinced one of the reasons why he has such demand is people follow him on LinkedIn. And you would think LinkedIn, that's not where your patients are. Yeah, they are. They're business people. Okay? And I mean, I don't know, Donnie, how many thousands of videos do you have?
Recording, just coming out of fellowship that we both did, I started recording every surgery that I've ever done. So as soon as YouTube became a thing, we put them up on YouTube. So that's where YouTube started for me before Atiba and before orthobiologics even. So once I started doing orthobiologics, it was a slam dunk to take what Atiba teaches and put that onto a channel. We even made a second channel that is just orthobiologics. And so people show up knowing or feeling that they know you. You've already crossed that hurdle. And so there's probably several thousand videos on YouTube, and LinkedIn, I have no idea. Yeah.
I mean, it is the number one thing that it is a non-negotiable. You have to do video. So you're just going to have to get over yourself. There is no choice, because this is how people search. This is how people watch things. This is how people learn. Okay. I think I'm done on questions over here. I don't think I have anything else on your list. What do you have, Ariana?
So, good news is the CME content that is part of this conference is some of the things we didn't get a chance to cover. So please make sure that Misty has your proper email address, because this is 10 hours of CME. It is the videos. Some of the videos we've gone over. Some of the videos have not been covered. And so make sure this is part of the value provided for this course is 10 CME, plus you get all those videos. Please make sure Misty has the right email address so we get to give you those videos and you can then get CME as you deem fit. Anyone have questions on CME? We would have had to have a 20-minute break between you and me each time. Yep, each time. So you get me alone, because I'm a doctor, and that's CME. You don't get Matt, but you get me alone for 10 hours. Woo! Yeah, it's really great. You can put it on fast forward if you'd like.
It's scintillating, let me tell you, okay? It's fascinating stuff. So let's talk about Monday. Let's go back to where we started with regards to the lofty goal, okay? So if you have a pen and paper or whatever, or you just want to think about it, gaze into your navel, now that you've learned what you've learned, what is the lofty goal that you have for the next 90 days for your practice? Make $1 million, okay? Do $1 million in 90 days. What's the lofty goal? Now that we've been through these 2 days, we started talking about the power of lofty goals, that if we create lofty goals, that activates our brain, okay? Yes, scares the living shit out of you, okay? Sorry, I shouldn't swear like that. I'm in a public place. Be quiet, Missy. Okay? So what's the lofty goal? What are someone's lofty goals for the next 90 days? The specific, the primary lofty goal. Who wants to share one?
Freedom. One word. Not to answer to the paper pushers. and treat patients the way they deserve to be treated, and myself the way I deserve to be treated.
Anybody else want to share a lofty goal? 2,100. Up $200. Okay. Lofty. That is kind of lofty. Okay. So what are you going to do on Monday? All right. So the funny thing about these events, you come, you learn a lot, you get back, and all of a sudden you wind up with like 65 patients, and Monday is an absolute hellhole. Okay. Crap storm. And, well, there's kids over there, you know. Oh, they did? Okay, good. And then Tuesday is nuts, and by the time you get to Friday, you're so exhausted you can't remember anything that you just learned, and before you know it, you're back in your same routine. So we got to break that routine, okay? We have to break that cycle. So what I want you to do is, on your plane ride homes, for those of you that are flying, I want you to spend some time, just spend like 20, 30 minutes, whatever you do, if you want to put on some binaural beats, focus music or something like that, don't put on something with lyrics. And I just want you to do a stream of consciousness, just journal, write down, what would a lofty goal be for you? What is the thing that would scare the living bejeebas out of you over the next 90 days to accomplish? Okay? And then what I want you to do, go back to look at your notes of what we covered with regards to setting the science of goal setting and achievement. You can go back and listen to the Dr. Andrew Huberman podcast as well, which is about 2.5 hours in length. I listen to him on time and a half to speed it up a little bit, but in any event. And what I want you to do is go back through that process of what we laid out. Look at your notes. Say to yourself, hey, I have this lofty goal, and define it in verb action words. I am going to add $300,000 of cash services to my practice by the end of by June 30th, 2024. And I'm going to do that by offering orthobiologics to every patient that walks through the door. That is a specific goal, lofty goal with verb actions. And then the other thing that you have to do is you have to commit the time to doing it. We recommend that you take a day a week, you X out your calendar, you don't see any patients, you don't go into the clinic, you tell your staff that you're unreachable, that you're in the witness protection program or whatever, and you find a different place to go and you work on building the cash side of your practice. Create videos, do the research, focus on revenue producing activities. I'm not talking about watching another video sequence on how to inject correctly. I'm talking about the business part of this. You all are skilled enough, okay? Go through that and commit that time. You do that for 90 days, and then on top of it, you have guidance from our team. You have mentorship from our team, coaching from our team. You will be successful. Maybe you hit the 300,000, maybe you don't. Maybe you only do 275. Maybe you do 250. Maybe you do 350. Maybe you surprise yourself and you do $500,000. Maybe you have some numbers like Roddy. Did Roddy disappear? He went to the airport? Yep. Roddy, his goal was $225,000 for the first quarter of this year. He hit that on February 20th. He generated $225,000 by February 20th. So we jacked his number up to 375, and I think he's going to hit that as well. Okay? And just start. Just follow the process. Just start. You all have been given the order form to join Business Mastery Fellowship. I want to clarify something for you all so that everybody's really, really clear on this. This is not something that I mentioned from stage, but I'm going to add it to you all. Business Mastery Fellowship is a year-long program. However, if you sign up today, what we're going to do is I want you to test drive it for the first month. Sign up. You have to do your onboarding call. Make sure you listen to the recordings or join the calls, go through the first 4-week process that we have laid out. If at the end of those 4 weeks you are not 100% completely satisfied with what we teach, all you have to do is contact your client success manager by that 30th day. We not only will cancel your contract, but we'll refund your first 4 payments. If you have any doubt, if you have any question whatsoever, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about all the things that you spend money on. I want you to think about all the machines that you buy and all the trainings that you go on. And you came here because of the fact that your business is not making you the money that you want. And you heard countless stories from people that are making money. They follow the system, follow the process. I want you to be free. Our team wants you to be free. We want you to experience what it's like, okay? And take that next step. If you've already signed up, you get that deal already, okay? We're going to include that. So take advantage of it. If you don't have somebody that's guiding you in business, you need somebody guiding you in business. You have something to say, Ariana?
I forgot to tell you, and everybody else here, I just calculated based on price of the program for 12 months and the last 12 months of increased cash revenue. My return on investment is 12x.
Wow.
So if you're wondering, is it worth it? 12x, so that means it paid for itself in the first month?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
like paid for itself. Like
Yeah.
done. So 12x is a reasonable return on investment. Reasonable. And by the way, you guys, bet on yourself. You're way more reliable than any other investment out there. Way better.
Thank you, Ariana. Thank you.
I forgot.